You can take a close-up walk through New York's maritime history at the Great New York State Fair. It's a story that dates back to the 1600s when the Dutch first settled in what is now New York City. But most of our shipwrecks date back to the French and Indian War in the mid-1700s.
That's a period where we can really begin to identify them. You can put dates on them.
And there's a lot we can learn about New York's history through our shipwrecks, particularly because those in our freshwater lakes are preserved almost exactly as the day they sank.
Each one of them provides a history, each one of them provides a story of our growth and development.
But it's not always easy to figure out the history of each wreck.
It's not like today that there's nameplates and there's these kind of things that may still be there. Just like you would do on land to do an archaeological assessment, with some of these very historic wrecks, you have to do the same thing, only underwater.
There are an estimated 10,000 wrecks at the bottom of New York's lakes and rivers. Most of them went down because of weather or war.
You start to think about a lot of the communities we have on the lakes, their history and development is because of their maritime location. If you look at the French and Indian War, you look at the War of 1812, you look at any one of the skirmishes that we've had, our ports and our harbors were critically important because of water transport, the ability to move troops, the ability to move people. So New York really was that hub that everything emerged from.
With the creation of the Erie Canal in the 1800s, the state saw a massive influx of water travel as the economy boomed.
It was the original thruway that people used when they were coming through, whether they were coming through the St. Lawrence River, whether they were coming up the Hudson River. And then obviously the Erie Canal opened up the entire country through the connected bodies of water and then into the Mississippi.
That history is captured in an exhibit at the Great New York State Fair called The Great Shipwrecks of New York's Great Lakes. It features 12 of the state's most famous wrecks.
There's three that really people talk about when we talk about some prime wrecks. They talk about the Ontario, which is a significant wreck that went down in Lake Ontario. There's the Land Tortoise, which is in Lake George, which is the oldest intact warship in North America. And there's Benedict Arnold gunboat, which is on the bottom of Lake Champlain. Some of those are accessible to divers, some are not because they're in deeper water.
And while a lot of our history sits below New York's waterways, it's those same lakes and rivers that shape our great state today and steer a path for the future. With one of your hometowns, Katie Gibbous, Time Warner Cable News.